In this video, we'll have a look at NFL conspiracy theories that change everything. There are so many conspiracy theories out there that it was a matter of time before the NFL also received its fair share. What are the biggest NFL conspiracy theories? Stick around to find out. Number 1. Power outage that delayed Super Bowl 37 wasn't an accident. The power outage that forced Super Bowl 37 to be postponed wasn't an accident. It was planned as a method to breathe new life into a game that was on the verge of becoming a blowout. When the lights in the New Orleans Superdome went out, the Ravens were running away with the Super Bowl, leading to 28-6 a few minutes into the third quarter. Suddenly, a game with a little drama became a game with a lot of drama. At the very least, it was different. The game began after a 34-minute delay, and the 49ers made a brave comeback attempt, scoring 17 consecutive points. But the Ravens held on for the win. Baltimore linebacker Terrell Suggs spoke to ESPN a few months later and expressed what most Ravens supporters had long believed. "I was like Vegas, you know what I mean? I was doing parlor tricks. Roger Goodell, I thought, never quits, always has something up his sleeve. He really couldn't let us win by a landslide, could he?" The NFL claimed that the blackout was caused by a power surge abnormality, but the organization has always disputed that concussions can cause any form of brain damage, so it's hard to rule out anything. Number 2. New England Patriots Spy controversy. The 2007 videotaping incident involving the New England Patriots reportedly filming the New York Jets defensive coaches may have been worse than we first thought. The Patriots may have filmed more than one team, according to an ESPN report from 2015, and it was also reported that the Patriots deployed undercover advanced scouts to gather information on forthcoming opponents. Perhaps the oddest aspect of the story is that Peyton Manning, who played for the Indianapolis Colts and the Denver Broncos during his career, reportedly wondered if the opposition locker room in Foxborough had been compromised in any way. If sections of that ESPN report are correct, it could explain why the NFL pursued Tom Brady and the Patriots in the Deflategate affair. Number 3. Intercepting radio transmissions. The New England Patriots don't appear to be the only team to have supposedly recorded opponents in the first 2 decades of the 21st century. During the 2001 NFL playoffs, a sports reporter for the Toronto Mail and Globe reported that the New York Giants intercepted radio messages from opposition teams. According to the article, this helped the Giants beat the Philadelphia Eagles and Minnesota Vikings in the playoffs. The Giants' 41-0 trashing of Minnesota en route to a Super Bowl spot seemed peculiar, if not suspicious, and such allegations look much worse when the Giants lost Super Bowl 34-7 to the Baltimore Ravens. On that fateful night, Big Blue definitely didn't intercept any messages in front of a worldwide audience. Number 4. Super Bowl 3. Perhaps one of the biggest upsets in professional football history was no upset at all. The New York Jets had little chance against the Baltimore Colts on paper, and it was almost comical when New York quarterback Joe Namath famously predicted the Jets would win the Super Bowl. That's exactly what happened when the Jets surprised everyone by winning 16-7. Why would this game have been rigged in the Jets' favor? Former NFL player Bubba Smith claimed that the game's outcome was rigged because the league wanted a New York team to win the high-profile game to increase interest in pro football, as well as because the league wanted a former AFL team to finally win the season's biggest game after AFL teams had been dominated in the first 2 Super Bowl matchups. Number 5. Deflategate. The New York England Patriots were embroiled in one of the oddest football stories in recent memories. The conspiracy theory surrounding the 2015 AFC Championship game is that New England quarterback Tom Brady purposely played with underinflated footballs to obtain an unfair edge over the Indianapolis Colts, breaching a league rule in the process. The Patriots thrashed the Colts 45-7, making it appear as if Brady could have won the game with beach balls. Despite this, the NFL pursued Brady and the Patriots for nearly a year, and Brady was suspended for 4 games at the start of the 2016 season. Some believe the NFL wants to target Brady and the Patriots this time since the league didn't do enough in the aftermath of the Spygate scandal. Number 6. The Colts Tank the 2011 season. In 2011, Andrew Luck was the NFL's hottest aspiring rookie quarterback prospect since Peyton Manning, who unfortunately was nearing the end of his career after neck surgery sidelined him the whole 2011 season with the Indianapolis Colts. With Manning out, the Colts absolutely disintegrated, going 2-14 and earning the right to draft Luck with the first overall pick in the 2012 NFL Draft. At that time, it was widely assumed that the Colts had embraced a suck for luck strategy of tanking the 2011 season in order to recruit yet another franchise quarterback. The irony is that Manning demonstrated he still had much left in the tank by setting records and winning a Super Bowl with the Denver Broncos. Number 7. The NFL accepts tanking for big money teams. In comparison to a weaker club, the NFL is fine with the big market team, or at least one with great popularity, tanking. The NFL, for example, was more tolerant of the Colts tanking during suck for luck than of a team like the Browns tanking for the sake of tanking. tanking. Even in 2021, I'm aware of how divided people are about tanking, and this sentiment extends to other sports as well. Notice how many people were outraged when the Browns, 76ers, and Astros, all lower-level clubs, publicly sank, but were fine when Andrew Luck's Indianapolis Colts did the same. The Colts were a well-known team with a lot of recent success, so the NFL could look the other way. When the Patriots flounder in the post-Brady era, the NFL will be unconcerned. Number 8. The Browns tanked in 2016. We'll continue with this conspiracy theory from the 2016 NFL regular season, one of which involves the league's weakest club at the time. Before September 2016, the Cleveland Browns had assembled a mediocre group, which went on to lose 15 consecutive games en route to a 1-15 record, despite the fact that the Browns had their worst season ever. The team's owners elected to keep the coaching staff and front office. The argument goes that the Browns went all in on losing and squandered a whole season in order to get the first overall pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, which they used to draft defensive end and top-tier prospect Myles Garrett. Number 9. Super Bowl 50 was affected by superfan officials. Despite being sidelined and playing like a shell of his former self for the majority of the 2015 season, Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos were selected to play in Super Bowl 40 against NFL MVP Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. For much of the season, Newton and the Panthers appeared unstoppable, but Denver's defense controlled the day and led the Broncos to an astounding 24-10 victory. Some conspiracy theories, as well as some disgruntled Carolina supporters, believe the game's conclusion was determined so that Manning, one of the league's most adored players, could retire a champion. Panther fans were outraged when head referee Clete Blakeman's crew made several game-changing calls against the Panthers, including ruling Jericho Cotchery's first quarter catch for a first down on incompletion, and then upholding the rule despite a challenge and video evidence that Cotchery had caught the ball before collapsing and completely missing Broncos cornerback Aqib Talib. The wife of a Super Bowl replay assistant was alleged to have attended the game as a Denver fan not long after the event. Coincidence? Number 10. Jimmy Hoffas remains. This could be more of an urban legend than a conspiracy theory depending on your perspective. Jimmy Hoffa, the infamous alleged mobster, vanished in the summer of 1975, and for decades it was speculated that his remains were buried beneath Giants Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This was never confirmed or refuted, but it would explain why the New York Giants and Jets chose to build the new MetLife Stadium next to the old one. There's nothing exceptional about that site, and spectators who drive or take public transportation may find it difficult to travel to and from the stadium. Is it possible that some folks have something to hide regarding what's in the ground near those locations? Number 11. The NFL is still hiding concussions. To keep top players in the game and the league, and to avoid scaring young prospective future NFL players away, the NFL will never openly admit the serious dangers of concussions. Come on, we all know this one's correct. Despite all the suicides and confirmed brain damage, the NFL continues to downplay the genuine dangers of concussions in order to portray the sport in a positive way. Concussions were recorded at a higher rate in 2017 than in any previous year, but the NFL sees this as a positive because people are finally talking about them. I object. We'll continue to go in circles for the next 40 to 50 years because the NFL has had an issue that will never be fully acknowledged. What is your take on these theories? Do you think some of them are true or plausible? That's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and comment below who you'd like to see next. Also, subscribe and hit the notification bell if you're new to the channel to be notified when we upload more content. And thanks, take care.